Hello and welcome to days 14 and 15 of B-Movie Euphoria's 31 Days of Horror. Thank you once again for joining us. I am here to tell you something maybe shocking, but I believe it. Horror movies are back. That is, I'm saying it here first, so once people start realizing it, they know who said it first. It was me. I said it. Boom! Horror movies are back. Um, Mostly because of the second movie I have to talk about. But it's not just that. There have been so many interesting kind of leaps forward in horror movies lately, and just enjoy. I have my cat staring at me right now. He's going nuts. But we have the new Halloween movie coming out this coming weekend. We've got Fangoria back out in print. We've got everybody loved the It movie. I'm kind of like, it was pretty good. Pet Cemetery is coming back. Okay, a lot of remakes. That's fine. We got some new horror movies. Hereditary was pretty fun. It's a good time for horror. And you want to know why? It's because whenever there's like kind of a bad political climate and we have a lot of kind of iffy, terrible things going on in the world, we get a lot of good horror because horror directors and horror makers, they are kind of our philosophers in a sense because they twist and use the world's problems to create and feed on people's fears. And I think they're important. I love horror movies and I'm glad they're coming back. And 31 Days of Horror is here for you every day this month. Uh, yeah, okay, I double up sometimes, but here we go. So the movie we watched yesterday was 1987's Demonwarp, starring George Kennedy and Scream Queen Michelle Bauer. It is a wacko, nutsoid piece of work. It's something to behold. Um, the thing about it is, uh, it's enjoyable, it's fun, it's absolutely wild, but it's not a movie that I would 100% recommend watching alone. This is kind of a shared experience movie where you couldn't just pop it in and watch it by yourself and enjoy it as much as you could with a bunch of friends and a bunch of beer. So it's basically about it's about a lot of things. Let's just say it's got Bigfoots or a Bigfoot. There might be multiple Bigfoots. I don't know. It's got aliens. There are ineffectual zombies. Uh, a lot of nudity. A lot of people's heads getting torn off. It is just a fun fest of horrors. And yeah, like I said, watch it with a group of people. You will enjoy a hell of a lot more. There's George Kennedy with a banana hat. There's just a lot of inexplicable things that you kind of just gotta let go and just enjoy it for what it is, which is absolutely nuts. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that because I don't want to ruin it for you. It's probably available on YouTube. It's one of those movies that it's not quite a cult classic, but it's getting there. But people are still just kind of easing into it because it is really bad. But anyway, so the second movie we have is the movie that I both bought and watched today. Today's film is Puppet Master, the Littlest Reich. That's right. That's Reich. It's Puppet Master, the Littlest Reich. And number one, this is a great cover. I think the how minimal they put the art on there, and it's just really effective. It's just dark and spooky and just creepy as hell. The Puppet Master series came from Charles Band, and from Full Moon Horror. And I've only seen a few of those films. They're all entertaining because obviously it's just puppets murdering people, ripping out their guts, stabbing out eyeballs, and a little dash of Nazis put in there. Um, it's fun exploitation. This is a reboot. So, what the filmmakers have said that this Puppet Master takes place in a whole different kind of dimension or alternate dimension of the original Puppet Master, where in this case, Andre Toulon is a Nazi. He is a bad, very bad, bad man. And in the original, Toulon was just a puppet maker, and he just made them to entertain people. And but in this one, he made them to murder the shit out of people, and especially people that Nazis don't like, including and not limited to the Jewish people, any sort of what they deemed bad sexuality. Anyway, this is a roughie. If you are ready to be freaked out, be disgusted, be wowed by a horror film, this is the one horror film you need to watch. And I know we're only halfway through, but this is incredible. I could not recommend this more. I really couldn't. All right, I got a cat going nuts here. But so they take the original puppets. They're kind of darken them up a little bit, making them a little creepier than they already are, and they kind of use Blade as, in my opinion, as the template for the rest of the puppets, where Blade was always the guy in the black leather jacket and kind of the creepiest one out of all of them. They kind of use his darkness and his creepiness as the beginnings of all the other ones. But yeah, all the other ones are back. Actually have a recent Full Moon comic book, so we have some of the characters in this comic book in the film. So there's Blade himself. There's this big guy. Excuse me if I don't remember their names. This is Torch, I do remember. And there are some very disturbing scenes of him burning people to death. There are a lot of absolutely disgusting, frightening, out of your mind scenes in this film, and you won't believe your eyes. So, this is brought to us by some very, very talented people. The writer of this film, S. Craig Zahler, or Zahler, sorry if I got it wrong, he's the writer and director of both Bone Tomahawk, excellent, excellent Western horror, and a little film called Brawl in Cell Block 88, which was one of my favorite movies of this year. Absolutely incredible. Vince Vaughn is fantastic. I could go into a whole video of that. I don't know why I didn't make one. It's amazing. But he just wrote this film, and you can tell because there's a lot of really good, sharp dialogue in it, and the story is fun, and it's just, it feels realistic, but at the same time, it's completely insanely violent and crazy all over. So we have talent behind the screen, we have talent on the screen. We have Udo Kier as Andre Toulon. He is absolutely freaky, as always, as this evil Nazi doll maker. And he looks great in this movie, even though he's covered in like a crap load of makeup with veins coming up his head and everything. But he's in it. Thomas Lennon is the star of this film. If you've never seen Reno 911, I don't know what else you've been watching, because that's one of the greatest shows on TV. He's also a writer. He wrote all of the Night at the Museum films, which, give or take those, but still, you know he's talented. He is really great in this. He's a lot straighter in this film, but he's still very funny. Barbara Crampton is in this, the great scream queen. Again, Barbara Crampton from Reanimator, From Beyond, just and the original Puppet Master. She was also in that. So she has a great part as an ex-cop who took down the puppets or had something to do with taking down the puppets before, and but doesn't really remember it for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, this one's basically about a man who just got divorced, who has to move back in with his parents, which that story itself could have been boring, but the guy who's playing Thomas Lennon's dad is really great at just being a total asshole. So you're kind of hoping he gets taken out at the end of this movie, but you can't have everything you want. He has to move back in with his parents. He's looking through his brother's room, who had an accident, and he finds this evil little fucker right here, and he does a little research. There's a convention going on in the area about Mr. Toulon and his collection of freaky dolls, which have been scattered all over the states and all over the country, all over the world, and everyone is coming into this town to show off these dolls. And so they're all staying at this hotel together after touring the Toulon Museum and everything, and with Miss, I forgot her name, Barbara Crampton as the tour guide and cop. And suddenly, these little fellers come to life and start tearing through people at an alarming, frightening rate. This film is incredible to watch. It is full of everything a horror movie fanatic could want. It's got gross humor, blood flying everywhere. It's got, sure, there are little CGI effects in this, but it's mostly practical. And the only thing I felt was missing, and I realized that, it's 2018, but I really wish they had some stop motion animation in here. That would have kind of made my day. But, I can't have everything. But this movie just provided me with so much joy. I can't recommend it enough. It starts going crazy, and then it never lets up. Things that you would never imagine happening in a horror film happen. And I really hope this does well. I hope more people get into this and love it as much as I do, because it is fantastic. It's just really sick. And it's not so sick that you want to turn it off because it's so entertaining. It's just pretty gross. So there you have it. B-Movie Euphoria's 31 Days of Horror, days 14 and 15. Demonwarp. Watch that with a couple friends. Puppet Master, Littlest, Reich. Watch it by yourself. Watch it on an airplane. Watch it on the big screen. I don't know if it came here or not, but I never saw it. So just watch it. It is incredible. This is what horror is about. Horror's back, everybody. And thank God for it. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great October. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. So I'm not skipping tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow, I promise. Have a great one, everybody.